Hello friends, this is Kapil, your host, and this is my second video on Start UPSC from scratch. So let us talk about the important books which are useful to crack the UPSC. So I'll give you 10 books. I will explain you 10 books which are helpful for cracking UPSC. First one is Polity by Lakshmikant. This book is often called the Bible of Polity for UPSC aspirants. It's a comprehensive guide that explains every aspect of the Indian constitution and political system in a simple way, that is simple, clear and exam oriented. It starts with the historical background of the constitution, then moves into its key features, the preamble and the fundamental rights. It also explains in detail how the union, state and local governments function, covering everything from the president and parliament to Panchayati Raj institutions. The language is easy to grasp in this book, and each chapter is structured with bulletproof points, flowcharts and tables, perfect for quick revision. And another big plus on this book is that it will get updated with the latest constitutional amendments and Supreme Court judgments, so you stay updated. So please prefer buying the updated version of this book. Let us come to our second important book, which is for history. The book name is India's Struggle for Independence by Bipin Chandra. This book is a masterpiece on modern Indian history and one of the most trusted sources for UPSC preparation. Unlike dry history textbooks, it combines facts with storytelling, making the freedom movement come alive. It begins with the 1857 revolt, often called the First War of Independence, and traces India's struggle right up to 1947 and partition. On each phrase of this book, whether it's the moderate leaders or the rise of extremists like Gangadhar Tilak, or movements led by Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose and Nehru, are explained of. Let us come to our third book, which is Spectrum, A Brief History of Modern India by Rajiv Ahir. If Bipin Chandra's book gives you the storytelling and depth, then Spectrum is your one-stop revision guide for modern Indian history. It's one of the most popular books among UPSC aspirants, especially for prelims. The book is structured in a crisp, exam-oriented way, covering events from the deadline of the Mughal Empire to India's freedom and partition in 1994. What sets this book apart from short chapters, timelines and summaries is it making easy to quickly grasp the who, what, when and why of major events happened. Key topics included in this book are 1857 revolt, the rise of the National Indian Congress, the Swadeshi movement, Gandhian struggles, and the role of revolutionaries and rebel movements are explained with just the right balance of detail and brevity. Each chapter ends with ready to revise points, which makes this book perfect for last minute preparation and multiple revisions. Many questions in UPSC prelims directly reflects facts, dates and ideas mentioned in this book, which is why aspirants treat it like a handy pocket guide to modern history. Unlike heavier texts, Spectrum is straight to the point, which is why toppers often say Bipin Chandra to understand, Spectrum to revise. Let us come to our fourth important book, which is regarding Indian art and culture by Nitin Singhania, and the book name is itself Indian Art and Culture. When it comes to UPSC preparation, art and culture is one of those tricky areas. Lots of facts, diverse topics, and difficult to connect. That's where Nitin Singhania's Indian art and culture becomes a game changer. The book provides a comprehensive overview of India's cultural heritage, covering everything from architecture, painting, music, and dance to theatre, sculpture, and literature. It's not just the text heavy. Singhania includes charts, tables, and visuals that make remembering complex details much easier. For example, the classification of Indian classical dancers or the evolution of temple architecture is presented in a way that you can visualize and retain. The chapters are well structured and exam oriented, often ending with the key points and practice questions, perfect for both prelims, fact based questions, and mains descriptive answers. It also includes coverage of Buddhist, Jain, and Mughal art, regional culture, as well as contemporary cultural events, ensuring nothing from the UPSC syllabus is left out. The language is simple and student friendly, so even if you don't have a background in arts, you will find it easy to follow. Another big advantage is that this book is regularly updated with the latest cultural trends and government schemes related to heritage and culture. It's very useful for current affairs linkage as well. Let us come to our fifth important book, which is about geography. And this book is by G.C. Leon. The book name is Certificate Physical and Human Geography. This book is considered a basic classic for geography preparation in UPSC, especially for beginners who want to build a strong foundation. What makes it special? The way it turns complex geographical concepts into simple visual explanations. The book is divided into two major sections: physical geography and human and economic geography. In the physical geography section, you will find clear explanations of topics like landforms, climate, systems, volcanoes, earthquakes, rivers, deserts, and glaciers. Each concept is supported with illustrations, maps, and diagrams, which make it easier to visualize and remember. The human geography section explains how geography shapes human life, covering population, settlement, agriculture, industries, and trade patterns. This part is especially useful for understanding the GS1 syllabus of mains exam. What UPSC aspirants have most loved about this book is its simplicity and clarity. Unlike bulky reference books, G.C. Leon is concise, easy to digest, and exam focused. It's particularly important for UPSC prelims, where many questions are factual and conceptual, but it also builds a base for mains answers, especially when you need to explain the impact of geography on society, economy, and environment. Let us come to our sixth book, which is Indian Art and Culture by Nitin Singhania. Art and culture is one of those UPSC areas that feels vast and scattered. There's just so much to cover, from ancient temple architecture to modern paintings. That's why Nitin Singhania's Indian Art and Culture has become the go-to book for aspirants. The book covers everything the UPSC syllabus demands: classical dances, music, painting, theatre, architecture, literature, religion, festivals, and cultural institutions. What makes it stand out is the way it's presented, nearly structured chapters, simple language, and lots of charts, tables, and diagrams. For example, instead of memorizing list of dance forms or architectural styles, you can actually see them mapped out visually, which makes them easier to recall in the exam. It also includes timelines and practice questions at the end of sections, which help aspirants connect events and revise quickly. Importantly, the book doesn't stop at ancient and medieval culture. It also talks about modern developments and government initiatives for cultural preservation. This makes it relevant not just for static GS1 preparation but also for linking with current affairs. For UPSC means where descriptive answers are needed, this book helps you add the extra layer of authenticity. You can quote examples of art, architecture, or literature directly from here. And for prelims, the factual content like UNESCO heritage sites, classical dance forms, or cultural festivals is already packed in a way that's easy to revise multiple times. Let's go to our next important book, and it's Indian Economy by Nitin Singhania. Economy is one of the trickiest areas of UPSC aspirants. Concepts can feel abstract, terms are technical, and the syllabus keeps evolving with new policies. Indian Economy by Nitin Singhania solves this problem by giving you a clear, structured, and student-friendly guide to India's economy. The book covers the entire range of economic topics as in UPSC: national income, poverty, unemployment, banking, fiscal policy, taxation, budget, monetary policy, inflation, and international trade. It also focuses on India specific developments like 5-year plans, Niti Aayog, government schemes, and reforms, making it highly relevant for both prelims, packs, and mains analysis as well. What sets this book apart from others is different topics such as monetary policy, transmission, fiscal deficit, or GST structure are explained in simple language, supported with charts, flow diagrams, and examples as well, so it is easy to remember. It also includes the latest data, reports, and economic surveys, which are crucial for writing updated answers in mains. For example, you're answering a question on poverty alleviation, quoting a recent government statistic from this book makes your answers stand out of the other students. The book has chapter-wise summaries, practice questions, and model answers which help in quick revision and self-assessment. Because economy is closely linked to current affairs, this book also shows how to connect statistic concepts like banking structure with dynamic events like digital payment growth, budget announcements, or RBI policies. Let us come to our next book, which is Economic Development and Policies in India by Jane and Ohri. While most economy books explain the basics and concepts, Jane and Ohri's Economic Development and Policies in India goes a step further. It dives deep into the policies, reforms, and strategies that have actually shaped India's economic journey. The book covers India's economy from independence to the present date, tracing how different policies, 5-year plans, and reforms impacted growth and development. It also detailed insights into agriculture, industry, services, trade, and infrastructure, showing how policies in these areas influenced India's economic direction. Key reforms like liberation, privatization, globalization, Banking reforms, taxation policies, and financial sector changes are explained in a way that links history with the present. It doesn't just give facts, it also provides critical analysis, pointing out the strengths and weaknesses of various policies. This is especially useful for UPSC mains, where analytical answers are expected rather than just rote memorization. The book also brings in recent developments such as digital economic growth, Make in India, startup policies, rural development schemes, and sustainable development initiatives. What makes it a good pick for aspirants is that it helps you understand the why behind government actions. For example, why the LPG reforms of 1991 were inevitable, or how GST changed India's indirect tax system. Let us go to our next important book, which is Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude by Subbarao and P. N. Roy Chowdhury. General Studies, Paper 5th. Ethics is often considered a game changer in UPSC mains because, unlike other subjects, it tests your values, decision making, and attitude, not just facts. Subbarao and P. N. Rao Chowdhury's Ethics, Integrity, and Aptitude is one of the most trusted books to prepare for this unique paper. The book starts with the basic concepts of ethics, integrity, and values, explaining why they mean in personal life, public administration, and governance. It then moves to attitude, emotional intelligence, and moral thinkers, covering both Indian and Western perspectives. These sections help you write thoughtful and well-rounded answers. A major highlight is its collection of case studies. These are real-life inspired scenarios where you are asked to make ethical decisions as a civil servant, exactly what UPSC expects in the exam. The book also guides you on how to structure your answers in such situations. It also links ethics with public administration by discussing concepts like accountability, transparency, citizen charters, and the role of civil servants in the democracy. For UPSC preparation, which are NCERT books. When it comes to UPSC preparation, every topper agrees on one golden rule: start with NCERTs. These books may look simple, but they are the foundation of the entire UPSC syllabus. NCERTs are written in clear, simple language, so even the most complex topics like federalism, monsoons, or economic planning are explained in a way that anyone can understand. From history and geography to polity, economy, science, and environment, NCERTs cover the basics that UPSC repeatedly tests in both prelims and mains. For example, history NCERTs give you a chronological narrative of ancient, medieval, and modern India. Geography NCERTs help you visualize maps, climate, and natural phenomena. Polity NCERTs lay the ground for advanced books like Lakshmikant. The science NCERTs 6th to 10th are especially useful for environment and general science questions in prelims. Similarly, economics NCERTs 11th to 12th explain macroeconomic concepts like GDP, inflation, and taxation in a way that makes later readings of economic survey or budget much easier. A big reason aspirants rely on them is because UPSC directly lifts questions from NCERTs. Mainly prelims questions can be solved if you read these books carefully. They are also full of maps, diagrams and case studies, making them highly useful for YouTube Explain. Lastly, I want to talk about the prelims solved papers by Vishal Publications. When preparing for UPSC, reading books is only half the battle. The rest test is you can apply what you have studied to actual exam questions. That's where prelims solved papers by Vishal Publications become an absolute must-have. Many toppers emphasize that solving previous year's papers is non-negotiable because it gives you confidence and aligns your preparation with the actual exam started. So this is all for today. Hope this video explains the importance of the books which are needed for UPSC preparation, and also the need for solving papers of last year mains and prelims to get a clarity on what kind of questions we get, and also to have a hands-on experience while solving these papers. Okay, so it is very important to solve last year papers to crack the UPSC exam. If you like this video, please share and subscribe to my channel UPSC Answer. Thank you. Bye.